Muy buenos días, muy buenas tardes, buenas noches en otros lugares del planeta Tierra. Estamos con una pareja de esposos, Shenden, amiga mía, ¿sí? Mr. Kutz, de Australia, conocedores del tema ambiental, para que nos den y nos hablen sobre lo que ellos viven diariamente en el otro continente, en el continente de Oceanía, básicamente en lo que tiene que ver con los temas ambientales y sobre todo con manejo de residuos sólidos. Bienvenidos. Te agradezco, Shen, como traductora y la plataforma es de ustedes para que se presenten.
Okay, hi everyone. Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Shen, amiga de Alex. Es mi esposo, Lawrence Cruz. Say something to the audience.
Hello, it's nice to be here with you all and to discuss the topics of environmental protection and the importance that has in today's society.
Yeah.
Ok, primera pregunta, ¿sí? ¿Cuál crees tú o qué creen ustedes que es el mensaje que este momento nos está dando la naturaleza con el tema de la pandemia, ¿sí? A nivel planeta Tierra? ¿Cuál es el mensaje de la naturaleza que nos está dando a nivel planeta Tierra?
The first questions about COVID-19. It's related to like what message that you think the COVID-19 could to the environment and to our humans like us, to us.
I think COVID-19 has shown how interconnected the world is and the importance that the environment has and how the environment in one part of the world can affect every part of the world. So I think it's one of the most important things that COVID-19 has done is shown how interconnected we as humans and so the environment are in today's society.
Okay. Tradúceme, Shen, por favor.
¿Es subtitle o con
Español, sí, muy general.
Es como, es una conexión entre ambientales y humanos. Hay más complicado, hay que escribir y traducir.
Ok, no hay problema. No hay problema. Sí, no hay ningún problema. A ustedes, la segunda pregunta, a ustedes como esposos, como profesionales, ahora como padres de familia, ¿cuál de estos, sí, es lo más inspirador que ustedes tienen para el cuidado del medio ambiente, ahora que tienen una pequeña hija muy bonita?
We have a beautiful daughter already, so what do you think? What is the best inspiration for caring about environment?
Well, as you mentioned, our daughter is a very strong inspiration for us. So that is something that affects our decisions on how important it is, not just for us, but for the rest of the world to look after the environment so we can preserve the environment that we've been so lucky to, Shen and I have had so much luck to experience around the world, that she'll also be able to experience the natural beauty that the world has to offer in the future.
Ok, listo. A más de eso, ¿cuán importante? Acá en Sudamérica es muy complicado que nuestros hijos pequeños reciban una educación ambiental de calidad. ¿Cuán importante es para ustedes, sí, o como padres de familia, la educación ambiental desde los niños de 3 años, 4 años en adelante? Porque tienen una cultura muy avanzada en el cuidado del medio ambiente.
So what do you think, how important is environmental education to our children?
I think environmental education is highly important nowadays, not just for them understanding how to better protect the environment and preserve it for their future, but also the jobs of the future are going to be very much focused on protecting the environment. So it's not just important for the environment, but also for the future of the work that she'll most likely be doing in the future as well.
Ok. Actualmente, Kus, ¿cuál crees que es la problemática, sí? Una de las problemáticas más grandes que existe a nivel planeta Tierra sobre la contaminación ambiental.
What do you think? What is the biggest problem of the environmental pollution in our planet, Earth?
I think it's the biggest problem is being able to get a consensus amongst countries as to how to best deal with the problem, especially many of the high polluting countries, trying to get a consensus amongst them, as well as some of the fast growing smaller economies that are high polluting economies and are experiencing quite a lot of growth. I think that's the biggest challenge that we face, and the biggest problem is getting consensus amongst all of these countries as to how to deal with the problem going forward.
Ya, para ir en la misma línea, en el mismo concepto, Shen, dile por favor igual cuán importante, hablando de Sudamérica, cuán importantes son los bosques tropicales de Sudamérica para el mundo, qué tan importantes son, que haga entender a las personas, a la gente, la importancia de los mismos para el planeta Tierra.
What do you think about the tropical forest in general, in the American continent, or in general, importance to our human beings, throughout the whole world?
I think it's quite important. Once these rainforests are destroyed, they're not easily replaced. So I think there has to be a strong focus on not just protecting the historical rainforests in South America, but the historical rainforests in all of the world, because once these are destroyed, they're not coming back quickly. So we really have to focus on trying to preserve them with an understanding that they can't be replaced once they're gone.
¿Crees tú que pueda existir o se puede desarrollar desde tu punto de vista, desde el pensamiento oceánico para el pensamiento americano, crees tú que se pueda desarrollar o pueda existir en un futuro no muy lejano un mundo sin utilización de combustibles fósiles?
¿En cuántos años?
En unos 15 o 20 años, ¿sí? ¿Cómo ves tú al planeta Tierra si tal vez ves que no vamos a utilizar combustibles fósiles? ¿Crees que es posible eso de aquí a mediano plazo, 15 o 20 años?
Okay, so what do you think about from your Australian view or American view? What do you think about the use of fossil fuels and also manage the natural resources?
¿Es posible?
Es combustibles
fósiles, petróleo, gas. ¿Crees que es posible?
This question is a different question.
Yes, same question. Yeah.
So, yes, I think that a world without fossil fuels is possible, but I mean, I think that there will always probably be some degree of fossil fuels that will be emitted or be used in the world, but I think that as we go forward, their use will be more limited. And I don't think that the transition is going to happen overnight. I think it's going to be a gradual process, and I think technology is going to play a large part in that transition process.
Okay. Para ir terminando y cerrando un poquito, nosotros damos clases de temas ambientales a jóvenes, ¿sí?, que están en formación profesional para ser profesionales manejadores de recursos o ingenieros en medio ambiente, ¿sí? Tú como profesional, ustedes como profesionales, ¿qué consejo les darías a esos jóvenes que son los próximos a cuidar el medio ambiente desde su perfil profesional?
So, since we are professional and we want to educate the young people in South America about environment protection, so what do you think your message for the youth and children who want to be professionals in environment issues?
I think my message would be that to ensure that they have the ability to enjoy the environment as much as their grandparents, their parents, and previous generations have. They need to focus on protecting. They need to take the next step and protecting the environment. And they need to teach their children the importance of preserving the environment and do a better job than we have. But we have to be the guide, and our children have to take that next step into the future.
Okay. Y la última pregunta de la noche. ¿Cuándo vas a visitar Galápagos y Machu Picchu con la familia?
Last questions. When are you going to visit Galapagos and Machu Picchu as a family?
As a family, well, soon after, hopefully soon after this pandemic ends. So, the next 3 to 5 years would be my guess. So, or as soon as Shen wants to. So when Shen schedules the trip, then we'll be there.
Mi marido ha visitado a Galápagos. Esperamos visitar Machu Picchu juntos en el futuro, en 3 años puede ser.
Okay. En Galápagos han nacido muchas tortugas. Muchas, han nacido muchas tortugas.
Many turtles, newborn turtles there in Galapagos.
Yeah, I think you told me.
Yes.
Okay. Y cuando vengan, son bienvenidos aquí a mi casa.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you. Gracias a ustedes, un gusto. Cuida a tu familia, cuídense de la pandemia, ¿sí? Y nos volveremos a ver. Cualquier cosa, Shen, que tú necesites de acá de Perú y que yo pueda hacerlo por ti, me avisas, ¿ok?
Muchas gracias, mil gracias.